All right, another week has come and gone. It is now time for our NFL predictions for week number 6. We'll do a little recap of week 5, which included Brady having a huge week, getting 14 points, Ethan with 8, and I ended up with 9. So what that means, Brady made a huge comeback after being down. Starting week number 6, Brady has 47 points, I have 47 points, Ethan has 48. So it's very close, pretty much tied as we head into week number 6. We'll start out with tonight's game. The San Francisco 49ers heading to Seattle. Now, Seattle has a better record. I don't have all. Usually I write down the records. I didn't write those down this week. I think Seattle maybe is at least 3-2. 49ers are 2-3, which is awesome because I can't stand the 49ers. They are in Seattle tonight, which is interesting because Seattle has a better record. They've been winning more. San Francisco is very banged up. They have a lot of injuries, McCaffrey out, all that. But still, all three of us took the 49ers winning tonight in prime time. I hope Seattle wins. But, I don't think San Francisco is going to lose every week. They lost last week. And, it's time for Seattle to lose. I'm going to go with the 49ers. We all went with the 49ers. Moving on to Sunday, I believe this game is in London. Jacksonville taking on Chicago. It's not really at Chicago because it's in London. And I can't confirm this, but I did hear someone say that Jacksonville is undefeated in London. Now, they play a lot in London. They don't have a big fan base in Jacksonville, at least compared to some of the other cities. They play in London a lot. Of course, the Cons have a team in London as well, the owners of Jacksonville. But we all took Chicago. Jacksonville did get a win last week. Chicago, I think they won last week. I think they're a little better than Jacksonville, but Ethan, Brady, and I all took Chicago winning. Arizona, Green Bay. Arizona had the big win over San Francisco last week, which was a surprise. I didn't pick it. Green Bay continues to win, though. Jordan Love looking good. I can't remember who Green Bay, if they had a bye last week. I can't. Weeks go on. Weeks kind of merge together. I can't remember on that. Green Bay, I think, wins, though. I was excited about Arizona early in the year. Then they kind of had some bad weeks, beat San Francisco, but I think they lose to Green Bay, especially in Lambeau. Ethan, Brady, and I all have Green Bay. So no surprise in any of these. Ethan and I went with Indy. They won last week, traveling to Tennessee. Tennessee is really bad. Brady went ahead and went with that. Of course, if Brady does get that correct, he'll get 2 points. If we get it right, we get 1 point. I think Indy's better. Indy's definitely better than Tennessee. We were at that game last year, actually just flipped. We were in Indy. We watched Tennessee at Indy last year. Hoping to see another game this year in person. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. So Ethan and I both have Indy. Brady went with Tennessee. We all have Houston over New England. Houston had the big win last week over Buffalo. New England is not very good, even though they are home. I think it's one of the safest bets to say. It's never a safe bet in the NFL, but I think Houston wins this. Could be maybe game of the week. Tampa Bay taking on New Orleans in New Orleans. Thankfully, it's in New Orleans and not in Tampa with everything that's happened there the last few days. Ethan and I both have Tampa Bay. Brady went with New Orleans. Could go either way. It depends what Tampa Bay team shows up, but I think Tampa wins. Cleveland is bad. I wish they were better. Watson is horrible. We're from Ohio. We like the Browns. They're not our favorite team. But Philly, if they're going to win, I would love to see Cleveland win this game, but they're not going to. And Philly has had some losses. They're not a guaranteed win, but I think Philly wins, and we all pick Philly. Philly's going to be sad because the Phillies lost. They're out of the playoffs in baseball. It has nothing to do with football, but fans will be ready, and Philly wins this. We also all went with Baltimore. Now, this could be the game of the week. Surprise Washington. They went again last week. They're 4-1. Their rookie quarterback, Daniels, looking amazing. People are saying, hey, this guy could win the MVP, not only Rookie of the Year. I think Washington could win this. I probably should have went with them because it's I think they would probably be favorite. I don't know if they're favorites. If people, are they for real? That's what we say every week. And Baltimore, they've lost some, but we all went with Baltimore winning this, so we'll see what happens here. Brady went with Denver. Denver's won 2 in a row. They're home. Ethan and I both went with Jim Harbaugh's Chargers. They did have a week off last week. I think they'll win. I think they'll bounce back. They lost the last game they played. Denver winning a couple though. They're not really that great. Could go either way here. Brady went with Denver. Ethan and I both have the Chargers. We all have Pittsburgh at Vegas. Another game that I think could go either way. Pittsburgh had won several in a row, but I just watched it and I'm like, this team's not really that good. They really hadn't played anybody. They lost to Dallas last week in Pittsburgh. But we still went with Pittsburgh winning again. They always find a way to win. Vegas, they kind of do the same thing. They could win some, they lose some. But we all went with Pittsburgh. But Vegas could win that. Detroit at Dallas, another game that looks good. I hope is good. Here's the deal. I get excited about Dallas one week. They look good, then they lose the next week. So they beat Pittsburgh last week. I say they lose this week. Ethan and I both have Detroit. Dallas went with the home, or Dallas. Brady went with the home Cowboys, the home Dallas team. Just because they're home doesn't mean they're going to win, because they lose a lot at home. But we'll see how it plays out. Detroit, Ethan and I have Detroit. Brady has Dallas. We all have Atlanta. They're good. They really are. They've had some close losses. They had some close wins too, but they're definitely better than probably the worst team in the NFL, Carolina Panthers. I would never pick them to do anything. We both, this is wrong here. This is supposed to be Ethan and Brady. I picked the Giants. I can't believe that. They are home. Cincinnati did win finally. I don't know who's better. Probably Cincinnati is better, but they just keep losing. Giants finally, they've got a couple wins. I'm going to go with the Giants. That's supposed to be an E. Ethan and Brady. I don't know how I put two J's. We all have Buffalo bouncing back after their beating from Houston. Jets, of course, fired their coach. That could be some motivation. I don't know. It depends how many people liked him. I'm glad to see him go. I think they're better than the record shows. Anyway, who knows? The Jets, they could win. They're at home. It's interesting, the Sunday night games in the Meadowlands, and so is the Monday night game. We all have Buffalo winning. Enjoy week number 6. Season continuing to get better.